A cosmic web of glowing green tendrils traps New York City in a shimmering cage, spun by the Skrull Overlord, a shape-shifting alien tyrant bent on enslaving Earth. Spider-Man swings through the chaos, web snapping as Skrull drones mimic his moves with eerie precision. Superman rockets from the sky, fists blazing, only to be ensnared by the Overlord's mystic trap. Doctor Strange conjures blazing runes, his cloak of levitation billowing, but the cosmic web tightens, draining his magic. 3 heroes, 1 planet, and a battle against a galaxy-conquering fiend. Can they break free before Earth falls? The New York skyline shimmered under a blazing noon sun, but a sinister green glow pulsed across the city, weaving a massive cosmic web that caged Manhattan like a fly in a spider's trap. The Skrull Overlord, a towering, shape-shifting alien with emerald eyes and a voice like grinding metal, hovered above the Empire State Building, its clawed hands spinning glowing tendrils that ensnared buildings and streets. "Earth is mine to mold," it roared, its Skrull drones, mimics of human forms with twisted, reptilian features, swarming the city, their plasma rifles blasting. Spider-Man swung through the chaos, his red and blue suit a blur, web snapping as he dodged a drone's blast. "Okay, shape-shifting alien overlord? That's a new one for the Spidey scrapbook," he quipped, heart pounding. Peter Parker's spider-sense screamed, guiding him through a hail of plasma bolts that melted a hot dog cart into slag. "Gotta say, these guys are Hersheying my vibe," he muttered, firing webs to yank a drone's weapon away, then flipping onto a lamppost. From above, a sonic boom announced Superman's arrival, his red cape slicing through the sky as he smashed through a Skrull warship, its hull crumpling like tinfoil. "They're not just invading, they're targeting the city's power grid," he shouted, his X-ray vision scanning the web's energy signature. Doctor Strange materialized in a burst of mystic sparks, his cloak of levitation billowing, hands weaving runes that flared gold. "This web is no mere construct, it's a dimensional prison," he warned, his voice grave. The trio converged on Times Square, where the cosmic web's tendrils pulsed, trapping civilians in glowing cocoons. Skrull drones, shape-shifting into grotesque copies of Spider-Man, swung from the web, mimicking his agility. "Oh, come on, knockoff Spideys. That's just rude." Peter yelped, webbing one to a billboard, only for it to break free, its claws slashing. Superman dove in, grabbing 2 drones and hurling them into a neon sign, sparks raining down. "They're adapting to our moves," he called, dodging a plasma beam that mimicked his heat vision. Strange conjured a crimson band spell, binding a drone, but the web's energy pulsed, weakening his magic. "The Overlord's web is siphoning my power," he growled. Above, the Skrull Overlord laughed, its form shifting, now a hulking, armored beast, now a sleek, winged predator. "You cannot fight what you cannot comprehend," it taunted, spinning more tendrils that snared a shield helicarrier, pulling it crashing into Central Park. Nick Fury's voice crackled through Spider-Man's comms. "Parker, get your web-slinging butt up there and stop this freak show." Peter grinned. "Fury, you had me at freak show." He swung toward the Overlord, webbing its tendrils, but they burned through his webs like acid, forcing him to flip back. Superman scanned the web's core, a massive, pulsating orb atop the Empire State Building, radiating energy that powered the Skrull invasion. "That orb's the key. It's anchoring the web," he shouted, rocketing upward, only to be ensnared by a glowing tendril that drained his strength. "It's countering my powers," he grunted, muscles straining. Strange teleported beside him, casting a shield of mystic energy, but the web's tendrils lashed out, cracking his spell. "This is no ordinary alien tech. It's infused with dark sorcery," he said, eyes narrowing. Spider-Man, swinging between skyscrapers, noticed the web's tendrils reacting to their attacks, growing thicker, stronger. "Guys, it's learning from us. We gotta hit that orb before it turns us into cosmic takeout." He fired a web net at a drone, trapping it, then used it as a springboard to launch himself at the Overlord. The alien shifted into a mirror image of Spider-Man, dodging his attack with eerie precision. "Okay, that's just creepy." Peter yelped, narrowly avoiding a claw swipe. Superman broke free, his heat vision slicing through a tendril, but the web reformed instantly, trapping his legs. Strange conjured a portal, pulling Superman out, but the effort left him winded. "We need a plan now," he urged. The Overlord's laughter shook the city, its form morphing into a colossal, tentacled monstrosity. "You are flies in my web," it roared, as more drones poured from glowing rifts in the sky. Spider-Man's spider sense blared, warning of a massive energy spike from the orb. "It's powering up something big," he shouted, webbing a drone and swinging it into another. Superman, hovering, scanned the orb's core. "It's a dimensional gate. If it opens fully, their armada's coming through." Strange's hands glowed, probing the web's magic. "It's tied to the Overlord's life force. Destroy it, and the web may collapse." The trio fought back-to-back, Spider-Man's webs tangling drones, Superman's fists smashing through their ranks, and strange spells blasting tendrils apart. But the web tightened, draining their strength, and the orb pulsed brighter, the ground shaking. Shield agents below fired futilely, their weapons useless against the Skrull tech. Fury's voice crackled again. "You three better have a trick up your sleeves, or we're all toast." Spider-Man grinned. "Tricks are my specialty, Fury." He had an idea, but it was risky. Use the web's own energy against it. As the Overlord loomed, the heroes braced for the fight of their lives. New York City trembled under the Skrull Overlord's cosmic web, its glowing green tendrils caging Manhattan in a radiant, daytime-lit trap. The Overlord, now a colossal, tentacled beast with shimmering scales and blazing emerald eyes, hovered above the Empire State Building, its voice a guttural snarl. "Your resistance feeds my power." Spider-Man swung through the chaos, his spider sense screaming as Skrull drones, shape-shifting mimics with reptilian claws, mimicked his web-slinging, chasing him across skyscrapers. "Okay, evil Spider-Man wannabes? That's just unfair." Peter Parker quipped, firing a web to yank a drone into a water tower, the crash spraying shrapnel. Superman rocketed upward, breaking free of a tendril that drained his strength, his fist smashing a Skrull warship into fragments that glittered in the sunlight. "The orb's energy is spiking," he shouted, his X-ray vision locked on the pulsating core atop the skyscraper, powering the web. Dr. Strange, his cloak of levitation billowing, conjured a blazing portal to redirect a plasma blast, but the web's dark sorcery sapped his spells, runes flickering. "This web is a mystic parasite, it's feeding on us," he warned, dodging a drone that morphed into his likeness, casting mock spells. The trio regrouped on a shattered rooftop, the city below a war zone of screaming civilians and shield agents battling drones. Nick Fury's voice crackled through Spider-Man's comms. "Parker, you're swinging around like a circus act. Do something about that orb." Peter grinned. "Working on it, Fury, but these knockoffs are cramping my style." He webbed a drone's legs, swinging it into another, but the web's tendrils lashed out, burning through his webbing. Superman grabbed a tendril, ripping it apart, but it reformed, wrapping his arm. "It's adapting faster than we can hit it," he grunted, breaking free with a burst of heat vision that scorched the sky. Strange's hands glowed, probing the orb's energy. "It's a dimensional anchor, tied to the Overlord's will. Destroy it, and the web collapses, but we must strike together." The Overlord laughed, shifting into a towering, armored giant, its claws slashing. Spider-Man dodged, his spider sense blaring, and fired a webnet, but the Overlord's scales deflected it. "Okay, this guy's got more costume changes than a Broadway show." Peter yelped, flipping onto a flagpole. Superman charged, punching the Overlord, but its form shifted, absorbing the blow like liquid metal. Strange cast a Crimson Band spell, binding its arms, but the web pulsed, weakening his magic. Peter's mind raced. "If it's feeding on us, maybe we overload it." He swung toward the orb, webbing drones to clear a path. Superman nodded. "I'll draw its fire." He flew at the Overlord, heat vision blazing, forcing it to shift into a winged beast that countered with plasma beams. Strange teleported beside Peter, conjuring a shield. "Your plan's reckless, Parker, but it might work." They reached the orb, its energy crackling, but a tendril snared Strange, draining his power. "Now, Parker," he shouted, fighting back. Spider-Man webbed the orb, pulling himself close, and planted a hacked shield micro-device to overload its circuits. "Eat science, alien jerk!" he yelled. But the Overlord roared, its tendrils pinning him. Superman smashed through, freeing Peter, but the orb pulsed brighter, the ground shaking as the dimensional gate began to open, revealing a Skrull armada beyond. "We're out of time," Strange warned, his spells faltering. The heroes braced. The fight was just beginning. Manhattan shuddered under the Skrull Overlord's cosmic web, its glowing green tendrils pulsing in the blazing daylight, caging the city like a cosmic spider's trap. Atop the Empire State Building, the Overlord, now a monstrous hybrid of scales and metal with blazing emerald eyes, laughed as its dimensional orb crackled, opening a rift that spewed Skrull drones, shape-shifting mimics with claws and plasma rifles. Spider-Man clung to the skyscraper spire, his spider sense screaming as a drone, mimicking his web-slinging, lunged at him. "Okay, evil twin, you're stealing my whole aesthetic," Peter Parker quipped, webbing its face and flipping it into a billboard, sparks flying. Superman soared through the chaos, his cape a red blur, smashing drones with fists that shook the air. "The orb's rift is widening," he shouted, his X-ray vision locked on the glowing core, now pulsing with energy that threatened to unleash a Skrull armada. Dr. Strange, hovering in a swirl of mystic runes, deflected a plasma blast with a shimmering shield, but the web's dark sorcery drained his power, his cloak of levitation flickering. "The Overlords will fuel this web. We must sever its control," he urged, casting a spell that bound a drone, only for it to morph free, mimicking his magic. The trio fought on the skyscraper's roof, the city below a war zone of shattered streets and SHIELD agents battling drones. Nick Fury's voice crackled through Peter's comms. "Parker, that orb's about to turn New York into an alien buffet. Move it." Peter grinned. "Fury, I'm working on my cardio here." He webbed a drone, swinging it into another, but the web's tendrils lashed out, burning his webs. Superman grabbed a tendril, ripping it apart, but it reformed, snaring his leg. "It's countering our every move," he grunted, breaking free with a heat vision blast that lit up the sky. Strange's eyes glowed, probing the orb's energy. "Parker's overload idea could work if we amplify it with my magic and Superman strength." The Overlord, shifting into a towering, clawed beast, roared, "You are nothing." Its tendrils slashed, forcing Peter to dodge, his spider sense blaring. "This guy's got more shapes than my dating profile," he yelped, firing a webnet that stuck a drone to the roof. Superman charged the Overlord, punching its chest, but it morphed into liquid metal, absorbing the blow. Strange cast a Crimson Band spell, binding its claws, but the web pulsed, weakening his magic. Peter swung to the orb, planting another shield micro-device to boost the overload. "Second time's the charm, right?" he shouted, but a tendril pinned him, draining his strength. Superman smashed through, freeing him, while Strange conjured a portal to redirect a drone's plasma blast. The orb flared, the rift widening, revealing a glimpse of a massive Skrull warship. "It's now or never," Strange yelled. The heroes hit the orb together, Superman's heat vision, Strange's mystic bolts, and Peter's device sparking. The orb cracked, but the Overlord lunged, its form a writhing mass, blocking their path. The city shook, the armada was coming. Manhattan quaked under the Skrull Overlord's cosmic web, its green tendrils glowing fiercely in the midday sun, caging the city like a cosmic snare. Atop the Empire State Building, the Overlord morphed into a towering, spiked colossus, its emerald eyes blazing as the dimensional orb pulsed, its rift widening to reveal a Skrull warship's menacing silhouette. Spider-Man swung around the spire, his spider sense screaming as Skrull drones, mimicking his agility, chased him, their claws slashing. "These copycats are giving me serious identity crisis vibes," Peter Parker quipped, webbing a drone and slamming it into a steel beam, sparks erupting. Superman barreled through the sky, smashing drones with earth-shaking punches, his cape billowing. "The orb's about to unleash the armada," he shouted, heat vision slicing a tendril, only for it to reform, snaring his arm. Dr. Strange, runes flickering under the web's drain, conjured a blazing portal to deflect a plasma blast. We must overload the orb now, he urged, his cloak of levitation fraying. The Overlord roared. You are prey, shifting into a serpentine form, its tail whipping at Peter, who flipped away, webbing its jaws. Bad snake. No biting, he yelped. Nick Fury's voice crackled through Peter's comms. Parker, that rift's opening. Stop it or we're alien chow. Peter grinned. Fury, I'm on it. But this guy's got more forms than a shapeshifter audition. He swung to the orb, planting a third shield micro-device, its circuits sparking to overload the web. Superman freed himself, grabbing a drone and hurling it into the rift, slowing the armada. Strange cast a mystic bolt, amplifying the device's pulse, but the web's tendrils lashed, pinning him. Parker now, he shouted. Peter dodged the Overlord's claws, webbing its eyes, but it morphed, breaking free. Superman tackled it, fist blazing, while Strange spell cracked the orb's shell, energy leaking. The rift pulsed, drones pouring out. Peter's device hummed, the web flickering. It's working, he yelled. But the Overlord lunged, its form a writhing mass, blocking the orb. Superman and Strange hit it together, the city shaking as the rift wavered. The heroes braced. The final push was now. New York City trembled under the Skrull Overlord's cosmic web, its green tendrils flaring in the blazing daylight as the dimensional orb atop the Empire State Building cracked, its rift pulsing with the threat of a Skrull armada. The Overlord, a writhing mass of scales and claws, roared, You cannot defy me. Spider-Man clung to the spire, his suit tattered, spider sense screaming as he dodged a tendril. Time to wrap this up, shapeshifter style. Peter Parker quipped, webbing the Overlord's glowing eyes. Superman soared, smashing through drones, his fists a blur. The orb's unstable, hit it now, he shouted, heat vision blasting a tendril that snared his leg. Dr. Strange, runes dimming under the web's drain, conjured a final spell, his cloak of levitation frayed. Parker's device is our last shot, he urged, binding the Overlord with crimson bands. The alien morphed, breaking free, its claws slashing. Peter swung to the orb, his shield micro-device sparking wildly. Eat overload, alien jerk, he yelled, boosting its power. Nick Fury's comms crackled. Parker, finish it or we're done. Peter grinned. Fury, I'm the king of last-second saves. Superman tackled the Overlord, pinning it, while Strange channeled his remaining magic into the device. The orb shattered, the web flickering as the rift began to collapse. The Overlord screamed, its form destabilizing, tendrils lashing. Peter webbed its core, Superman punched it, and Strange spell blasted it into the rift, sealing it shut. The web dissolved, freeing Manhattan. Shield choppers circled, cheering. Peter collapsed. Best. Team up. Ever. Strange nodded. Well done, Parker. Superman smiled. Earth's safe for now. The heroes stood tall, ready for the next fight.